Hello everyone, welcome to Read Learning English Literature channel. Today's video on differences between literary criticism and literary theory and also the concept of empiricism. Literary criticism is the study, analysis, evaluation and interpretation of literature. Various analytical tools are applied to examine literary texts. Criticism, something which was done by the past, the poets or the authors. For example, the greatest thinkers like Plato, Aristotle, Horace, Longinus, and then Philip Sidney, John Dryden, Wordsworth, P.B. Shelley. These critics were making the art of writing a lot better by giving suggestion on how to write a work. They have implemented their own different concepts. Okay, so literary criticism is something which is a practical application. Okay, so literary theory helps to build analytical structure used to map out and interpret literary works. Literary theory provides a framework to use for analysis, which is done by the modern thinkers, beginning with structuralism, post-structuralism, deconstruction. Literary theory is an idea like Marxism, feminism, post-colonialism. Okay, so criticism, which is actually done by the past, the greatest thinkers or the poets or the different literary critic. So theory, what we are doing now, what we are doing today, so which is we call the theory, right? So if we are doing a PhD, so the theory, the different approaches we are applying, so which is called a theory. And criticism, actually it's a older version. So criticism, with the help of criticism, theory born, right? Criticism in the ನಂತರ next ಬಂದಿದ್ದು theory ಅಲ್ವಾ? Okay, so next the concept of empiricism. The beginning of a theory can be located in empiricism because it was the first step in shifting human thought from unquestioned belief to critical and experimental knowledge. When we talk about theory, empiricism plays a foundational role because 17th and 18th century thinkers started questioning how we know what we know. ನಮಗೆ ತಿಳಿದಿರುವುದನ್ನು ನಾವು ಹೇಗೆ ತಿಳಿದಿದ್ದೇವೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ. ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಬಿಫೋರ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಲಿಟರರಿ ಥಿಯರಿ ವಿ ಶುಡ್ ನೋ ಹೌ ಆ್ಯಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಥಿಯರಿ ವಾಸ್ born. Okay, so theory, criticism, after criticism, so theory starts, right? So T.S. Eliot is a bridge between literary criticism and literary theory. So this is what how the whole theory part starts. Okay, so criticism is something kind of a concepts, the main concepts, right? So different writers concepts, so it's a kind of easy comparing to literary theory. Literary theory is a vast, right? So we should know what is criticism. Actually, first we should know what is criticism, and then theory part. When we talk about theory, empiricism plays a foundational role because 17th and 18th century thinkers started questioning how we know what we know. Before empiricism, knowledge was mostly tied to religion, tradition and authority. With empiricism, knowledge became based on evidence, which later influenced different approaches to art and literature. Empiricism set the stage for later theories like positivism, realism, and scientific approaches to studying texts. Empiricism is a theory of knowledge which says that all knowledge comes from experience, mainly through our sense, seeing, hearing, touching, etc. Thinkers like John Locke rejected the notion of inborn knowledge and said mind as a blank slate, or which is also called tabula rasa. So the concept of tabula rasa or a blank slate. This was the beginning of a modern theory because it shifted knowledge from blind faith to observation. So, okay, try to understand, because it shifted knowledge from blind faith to observation. So, we should know what is the concept of empiricism first, and then we have to understand what is actually theory, right? So early modern thinkers started questioning how we know what we know. So this is what the beginning of a theory in literature and also in philosophies. Okay, so this is what the differences between literary criticism and literary theory, and also the concept of empiricism. And next we're going to discuss that formalism, structuralism, deconstruction, post-structuralism, Marxism, feminism, and then post-colonialism, reader response criticism, archetypal criticism. Okay, thank you. Like, share and subscribe.